So, picture the default wallpaper on your computer screen. You know the one.
Oh, yeah. The pristine concrete bridge, dramatic cliffs, the ocean crashing below.
Exactly. Completely empty. It looks like, I don't know, absolute freedom. But if you're actually planning to drive Highway 1 from Monterey down into Big Sur this summer, you need to erase that image.
Yeah, you really do. Replace it with like a Safeway parking lot on a Saturday afternoon. Just people fighting for a sliver of dirt to park on.
It's a rough reality check, which is why in this deep dive, we're giving you the exact blueprint. Because if you're staying in Monterey, California, driving south into Big Sur is honestly one of the best day trips you can take.
Oh, absolutely. Cliffside views, hidden beaches, waterfalls, redwood forests, all just a few hours from your hotel.
Right. But without a plan, it's a nightmare. So today we are pulling from a massive stack of sources. We've got a 2026 excursions guide, official California State Park updates, live Caltrans road conditions for July 2026, and some incredibly blunt advice from locals on Reddit.
Gotta love Reddit for the unfiltered truth.
Always. Our mission today is to figure out exactly how to plan this tour. How long it takes, guided versus self-drive, the best stops, and a few 2026 access updates you absolutely need to know before you go.
And, the first thing we really need to extract from these sources is a realistic sense of time.
Yeah, because looking at a map, it doesn't look far at all.
Right. Geographically, driving from Monterey to the northern edge of Big Sur only takes about 30 to 45 minutes. But a proper round trip, you need to plan for 5 to 8 hours.
Wow, 5 to 8 hours.
Yeah, it's a full day. You're navigating sheer cliffs, winding hairpin turns, and heavy traffic. The stops are what make it worth it, but you have to block out the time.
Okay, so start before 9 in the morning, right? And before we even get to the scenery, we have to talk logistics. The big choice. Are you going guided or are you self-driving?
Yeah, this is basically about what kind of friction you want to deal with. A guided tour takes the stress out. Someone else handles the tight turns, the route planning, and crucially, the parking.
Which is huge if cliffside driving makes you nervous. Or, if you just don't have a car.
Exactly. But it usually costs more, and you have way less control over your time. Self-driving costs less and lets you linger at the spots you actually care about, but you are entirely responsible for the navigation.
Right. And if you take the wheel, you hit a major geographical hurdle. The San Lucia Mountains rise almost vertically out of the ocean, which means cell service just vanishes.
A total dead zone. Relying on a live data connection out there is like the #1 rookie mistake highlighted on Reddit. You will end up totally lost.
Trying to navigate those winding rows blind is a guaranteed way to just get incredibly frustrated. So you have to download offline maps before you leave Monterey.
You have to. Cache your Google Maps on Wi-Fi, or better yet, use apps like Gaia GPS or Organic Maps. They store the topographical data right on your phone, or just buy a physical National Geographic map.
Old school, I like it. Okay, so you've got your maps, your gas tank is full, which, by the way, do that in Monterey or Carmel because gas stations basically disappear later on.
Yes, very important.
So you're on the road, and the immediate instinct is to pull over at every single turnout that looks pretty, which is all of them.
Every single one. And that instinct is exactly what turns the trip into a frantic, exhausting checklist. First-time visitors do this constantly.
So how do we avoid that?
Our excursions guide suggests a strict, non-negotiable formula. They call it the 3-2-1 golden rule. 3 photo stops, 2 short walks, and 1 food or rest stop. That is it. Pick a few, spend real time there, and let the rest go.
Okay, wait, I have to push back on this.
Go for it.
If you're flying across the country, and this is your one chance to see Highway 1, artificially limiting yourself just feels, I don't know, counterintuitive. Why wouldn't you try to squeeze in everything?
Because of the cognitive load of awe. It's vacation FOMO, basically. We try to maximize time by consuming as much novelty as possible. But your brain can only process so much breathtaking scenery before it just stops registering it.
Oh, like museum fatigue. Like, by the time you see the 20th masterpiece at the Louvre, you're just looking at paint and wondering where the cafe is.
That is a perfect analogy. The 3-2-1 rule is a psychological boundary. By choosing quality over quantity, you preserve your capacity to actually feel amazed at the stops you do make.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So let's put the 2 short walks part into practice. To ease into the day, the sources point us just outside Carmel to Point Lobos State Natural Reserve.
Yeah, Point Lobos is the ideal warm-up. It's close to Monterey, The coastal trails are short and relatively flat. You get dramatic rock formations, and you have a really good chance of spotting wildlife.
Like sea otters and harbor seals, right?
Yep, it's a great way to start before the cliffside driving gets intense.
But the second walk is where it gets really interesting to me. Heading slightly further south to Garrapata State Park. I love Garrapata because it's like a secret menu item for the state parks.
Oh, it really is.
Unlike Point Lobos, there are basically no signs for it.
It is notoriously unmarked. The guide says you have to actively look for turnout number 7, near Sobrantes Point, just to find the Rocky Ridge Trail.
And it's a super short half-mile walk with a few stairs, but it drops you right onto this pristine coastal view. But why hide it? Shouldn't a state park want visitors?
Well, this introduces a theme we see a lot out here. Conservation by obscurity. Sometimes a lack of signage is nature's best defense. It acts as a natural filter, so only the observant, prepared travelers find it.
Keeping it from getting trampled by the crowds?
Exactly. It's a quiet way of managing the human footprint.
Well, soak in that quiet while you can. Because right after Garrapata, you hit the absolute epicenter of Big Sur's fame. The first major photo stop. Bixby Creek Bridge.
Ah, Bixby. The icon. The one from all the car commercials and Instagram feeds. It's this striking concrete arch bridge that just seems to float above the canyon.
The sources call it an open spandrel arch. What does that actually mean?
So the spandrels are the spaces between the top of the arch and the flat roadway deck. In an open spandrel design, those spaces are left hollow.
Oh, okay.
It reduces the weight of the concrete, but more importantly, it creates gaps that let the gale-force ocean winds blow right through the bridge instead of slamming into it like a wall.
That's brilliant engineering, especially since they built it in 1932 during the Depression. And they actually debated using steel, right?
They did. Steel was standard for a bridge that size. But the engineers realized the sea air would act as an electrolyte. If they used steel, the salty moisture would rust it almost instantly.
Requiring constant, expensive maintenance.
Right. So they went with concrete, which also perfectly mirrors the natural granite cliffs. But building it was a nightmare. They had to construct a massive wooden scaffold midair across a 260-foot drop, battling high winds and storms.
And the crazy part, the initial bid was just over $203,000, and they finished it under budget at $199,861.
Which is just unimaginable today.
Totally. But the modern reality of Bixby Bridge is definitely not a marvel of efficiency. The sheer volume of visitors has made it incredibly chaotic.
Yeah.
One local on Reddit said it looks exactly like a Safeway parking lot.
And it's a massive safety hazard. People just abandon common sense. They wander out onto the road with two-way highway traffic inches away.
Yeah, and the parking got so dangerous that as of September 2024, parking at the entrance of Old Coast Road on the north end is strictly prohibited.
You can only stop if your car fits fully inside a marked spot. If your bumper is sticking out into the lane, you will be cited or towed.
So if Bixby is on your 3-2-1 list, you need a game plan.
You do. If the marked pullouts are full, do not stop in the traffic lane to wait. Just enjoy the view from the window and keep driving. Do not trade a beautiful experience for a stressful traffic jam.
Yeah, let it go. And speaking of keeping things moving, it's probably midday by now. Time for your one food or rest stop.
And you want to do this in the Big Sur village area. Services become very, very scarce further south. This is your chance to get lunch and use a restroom.
Because you're going to need your patience for the next stop. If beaches are a priority, you have to try for Pfeiffer Beach.
Oh, Pfeiffer is legendary. It's famous for keyhole rock and its purple-toned sand.
The purple sand sounds fake until you see it. Where does that even come from?
It's geological. The cliffs have high concentrations of manganese garnet rocks. Rainfall washes the crushed garnet to the shore. And because garnet is heavier than normal quartz sand, the ocean waves wash the lighter sand away.
Leaving the brilliant purple garnet behind.
Exactly. It naturally sorts itself.
So cool. But getting to that sand is a logistical trap. First, it's managed by the parks management company, not the state. So your national park passes don't work. It's a $15 day use fee.
And the fee isn't even the hard part. The access road, Sycamore Canyon Road, is a narrow 2.2-mile single-lane drive down Residential Canyon.
And at the bottom, the parking lot holds exactly 65 vehicles.
65 spots.
Yeah.
For thousands of daily visitors.
Brutal math. And you can't just park on the highway and walk down. Pedestrian traffic on that road is strictly prohibited by the Forest Service.
Which creates a textbook sunk cost fallacy.
Oh, right. Because you drove down this terrifying narrow road, you feel invested.
Exactly. When people see the lot full sign, their brain rebels. They idle in their cars, block traffic in both directions, and waste 3 hours of their vacation just staring at brake lights.
What a nightmare. So what's the advice?
Adopt a strict hit-or-miss mentality. If you get to the bottom and the lot is full, let it go. Turn around, drive back up, and move to your next stop.
That supreme flexibility is honestly mandatory, especially for 2026, because right now, things are literally under repair.
Yes, which brings us to McWay Falls in Julia Pfeiffer Burns State Park. It's an 80-foot waterfall that drops right onto the beach, one of the most searched spots in Big Sur.
But here is the massive 2026 update. The official Overlook Trail is completely closed.
Yeah, as of March this year, they are doing long-term retaining wall repairs. It's expected to last through 2026.
It's like showing up to the Louvre to find the Mona Lisa in the restoration room. You might get a peek, but don't plan your whole day around it.
Exactly. Right now, you can only view the falls from a small pullout on the shoulder of Highway 1, treated as an optional stop. And importantly, there's absolutely no beach access.
Yeah, do not try to scramble down there. The cliffs are crumbly, trespassing gets you cited, and it leads to dangerous rescues.
So just check the park's official page before you go. And keep that flexible mindset for the highway itself, because the Caltrans update for July 2026 shows active road maintenance.
Right. There's one-way controlled traffic between 5.3 and 6.3 miles north of Big Sur Village. You will be sitting at a temporary red light.
Patience is key.
Okay, let's synthesize all this. If you want to master this day trip, our sources give us a clear blueprint. Start early, before 9 a.m.
Stick strictly to daylight driving. Fog rolls in fast, and you don't want to drive unlit cliffs in the dark.
Fill your gas tank in Monterey. Download offline maps, follow the 3-2-1 rule, and never ever stop in the active traffic lane. Use marked pullouts only.
Keep your list short, and choose comfort over cramming it all in.
You know, as we wrap up, looking at all these modern frustrations, the parking bans, the 65 car limits, the closed trails, it feels like we constantly have to lock nature away just to protect it from the tourists who love it.
It really does. And it's a sharp contrast to the history of the native Esalen people. For thousands of years, they occupied this pristine coast, perfectly integrated with the ecosystem long before highways existed.
And recently, in 2020, they actually regained a portion of their ancestral land in Big Sur.
Yes, 250 years after being removed, they got a piece of their coast back. It's a powerful restoration, and it really reframes how we look at Big Sur today.
How so?
Well, the Esalen people sustained this landscape forever in balance. Today, we have to enforce one-way traffic and ban parking just to keep the ecosystem from collapsing under the weight of millions of people trying to get a photo.
It makes you realize that the empty road from the computer wallpaper isn't just a myth. It's a luxury the landscape just can't afford to give us anymore.
Exactly. So it leaves us with a question. As the desire to experience this beauty grows, how will future generations balance that human demand with the desperate need to preserve the land itself?
It's a heavy thought, but one you'll have plenty of time to ponder while you wait at those temporary red lights. Keep that balance in mind next time you're gripping the wheel on Highway 1. That's all for this deep dive. We'll catch you next time.